Hello, thank you for joining me today, and if you're new, welcome to my channel. Something a bit different for me in this video, and that's a flip through of some of my full spreads from 2019 to 2023 to give you and me some inspiration for those full spreads. I'm just going to show you autumn pages in my classic vertical happy planner, not Halloween, and I think it's going to be really interesting to see how my style has changed over the years. We're starting with my 2019 Miss Maker planner. One of the things I realised when I got these planners off the shelf was that if you ever lost the pages, you wouldn't actually know what year they are from without checking the dates, because it doesn't say it anywhere on the page. It's only when you go back to the title page of your planner that you see the year. So 2019, and this was the famous Miss Maker planner, part of the Happy Planner Girl range, which I wish they still did. You will notice that a lot of my spreads are Happy Planner stickers, and that's because when I started planning, that was all I had. Let's start with this Squad Girl spread. One thing you will notice from this flip through is that every year the Squad Girls feature in my full spreads. I just love the full Squad Girls, from the original Squad Goals sticker book and the follow-up Squad Life. A couple of other things to point out is that this is the end of September, and because I love summer so much, I have never started my full spreads until that first week of fall. So this would have been my first full spread of 2019. Another thing you may notice is that this is the checklist layout. It may not be obvious straight away, because I've covered up the little checklist, but that's what the Miss Maker layout was. It went away for a while and then came back a couple of years ago. But the difference with this planner was that it had yellow, blue and pink stripes on the page. So every week I had to deal with that, usually with washi tape. So that's why you've got these three sections split up like that. Not because I was separating my week into three areas, just to cover up those bright colours. You can see the decoration is pretty minimal. I liked to use checklists a lot in my early spreads. And another thing I really liked was to put stickers in the boxes. So you can see a lot of that. Not a great spread because I was constrained by the layout I was working in, but I like it because it's got my favourite Squad Girls in it. So one tip, if you've got them, is to make sure you bring in those Squad Girls sometime during fall. Let's move on. And here you can see that even back in 2019, I was doing something I still do now, which is sectioning off this middle area and decorating it entirely. Of course, now I'm wondering if the reason I started doing this was just to cover up those checklists in the middle, and then I found I liked it, so I kept on doing it. I used scrapbook paper in my spreads from quite early on. So I just stuck a strip of scrapbook paper that had a wood pattern on it, and then used these really cute leaves and trees. They came from an American craft sticker book, because as well as Happy Planner sticker books, my other source of stickers back then was my scrapbooking stash. It's really quite nice for one of my early spreads. Next, we have some more Happy Planner stickers and those Wrong Girls. And I have to say, when these stickers first came out, I didn't like them at all. And then I saw some people doing spreads with them and became drawn to them and then really wanted to have them. So I bought them, but I can't say that I use them a lot. I think when you're a new planner, you get very influenced by what you see, and you see other people's spreads and want to have all the stickers, when sometimes they're just not your vibe. I'm not quite sure why. I think Wrong stickers are fine, but it's just a rabbit hole I haven't fallen down. You can see I tried to vary it by covering up some of the checklists with stickers and putting checklists down here. But I did find this layout really tricky to manage. I remember at the time Mary Ellen from Planning with Bumble also had the Miss Maker planner and did a few spreads in it, but she couldn't get on with it. And it's funny that at the start of the year, she went back to the checklist layout. And I remember at the time thinking, you're going to struggle with this. because you didn't get on with it before. But I think she's done some lovely spreads, although I know she is rethinking her planner layout for next year. Be interested to hear if you use the checklist layout and how easy you find it to decorate. Not really a particular fan of this one, but it's okay. This one I tried something different, probably inspired by Planning with Bumble. In fact, definitely I remember the spread that Mary Ellen did with summer stickers. So I thought I would try using the pumpkins and making columns. It's okay, and I think it's really good to try new things in your planner, but I don't think it's something I've repeated. You can see my Doodlebug scalloped washi, which I still use to this day, one of my favourites. We'll move on now to 2020. I have, I think, 18 months in this planner and it's a bit full. I don't have expander discs, but I am slowly picking up more expander discs so I can put them in my older planners. This was the Squad Girls planner, and you can see it's got quite a bit of colour on the page. Not as bad as the Miss Maker planner, but I still had to use washi a lot to cover things up. You can see it's the first week of fall again, and I've gone with Happy Planner. It's interesting to me that I've chosen to use some decorative boxes, and I've done a little bit of layering because I wasn't a big fan of layering in the early days, but I was obviously starting to branch out a little bit. These were from the original fall sticker book, and I think what I've done here is really pretty. I love that, and it's a really well balanced spread. I noticed that I've put that I had heating on for the first time on the 26th of September, so I wonder when I'll be putting the heating on this year. I really love this washi. It was some of Happy Planner's skinny washi, and it's actually a roll I have completely finished, which is a very rare occurrence. We have more Squad Girls, of course. I'm not sure how many sticker books I had at this point, but definitely not the quantity that I have now. One thing I didn't have a lot of back then was washi. I think it was mainly the Doodlebug washi. So I did make use of the washi strips in the Happy Planner sticker books. These days, I never touch it. I really liked changing up the way I did bullet points. So sometimes I used little flag stickers, sometimes the bullet points, and other times the checklists. Even to this day in my spreads, I love making scenes, and one of the things I do is a scene at the top and a scene at the bottom. I think I even did it in this week's spread. These girls are so cute, and I'm afraid I don't love the newer Squad Girls half as much as the original. I really, really wish we had more of them. I was convinced that one day they were going to bring out a mega sticker book of Squad Girls, but sadly, I don't think that's ever going to happen. In the early days, I didn't do an awful lot with the dates at the top, and you'll see that that changes in future spreads. More Happy Planner stickers. And another technique that I've used quite a bit is cutting up stickers and putting them in a little box. I also love to use words in my planner. I did a whole video all about that. And I think it's a perfect thing to do when a new season starts. I can't say I love any of these spreads yet that I've shown you, but I don't hate them either. Here we have Stronger Together Girls, which reminds me that that's a fun sticker book I haven't used for quite some time. I do quite like this one. It's very well balanced. Not sure about the gold foil washi, but I had a go at making a decorative quote box there. Something I talked about recently in my ways to use boxes video. Done a tiny bit of layering of 2 stickers here, but still everything is very much in the box. I like this one though, really cute. And another Squad Girls spread. Back then I loved the Squad Girls so much that I made sure I did one spread every month with the Squad Girls stickers. I really wish I could still do that, but I just have so many stickers, it's not possible. These were the Squad Girls from Squad Life, and there's not a lot of decoration going on. I've mainly just used the decorative boxes. I used my planner as a catch-all planner, had a little bit of everything. I noticed it's got Biden wins the US election, so I used to include snippets of news. We were in a national lockdown because of COVID, and that's why it's really interesting to look back at your planners and what you were doing. Now let's move on to 2021. In September 2021, I'd finished my Miss Maker planner, and I had the Archetypes planner, which was completely neutral, didn't even have any speckles down the punch part. I really loved how neutral it was. Gone is the washi to cover up the colour. I could just use it where I wanted to use it. In this first week of full spread, I used the washi to section off 2 areas, a little bit like that Squad Girl spread, and did the usual transition spread, going from green colours to brown. Of course, the Squad Girls feature again, and I absolutely loved this fall sticker, which was from the second Happy Planner fall sticker book. Everyone has to do at least one fall leaf spread in their planners over autumn. Let's keep going. And here we have something similar to the one I showed you with autumn spelled across the page, but this time using these really big letters from Happy Planner. I framed it with some full washi and then kept the rest very balanced with checklists and box stickers. I'm not really a fan of this one. It was one of those spreads, I had a picture in my mind how I wanted it to turn out, and it didn't quite work. I think it was the washi I didn't like, which of course I could have taken off, but I didn't hate it. It just wasn't one of my favourites. Here's where I started to think a little bit more about using different stickers for the dates. I used the Happy Planner Dates and Holidays sticker book, which has some decorative stickers that you can use. And that becomes more and more a feature of my planning style as time goes on. Before we go to the next spread, I just thought I would show you an example of a currently page. This is my 2021 currently page. I used the one that was in the planner, so it had this black band across the top, and I just wrote currently in white pen. Then I used scrapbook paper to cover the rest of the page, and this really big Mambi stick girl. Back then I used to make a currently page and a task page for the month and tried to make them match. I really did love these pages and how they turned out. And if you're not a fan of a currently page, maybe you might want to try doing a task or a to-do page for the month. On to the next spread, which is a Disney spread. Merida I tend to associate with autumn just because of her red hair. And yes, we have some non-Happy Planner stickers, these beautiful florals from Live Love Posh. I bought my first Live Love Posh stickers in 2021. The first book I bought was Whimsical Summer. I loved it so much I actually got 2 copies. And then I think these come from Autumn Blooms, which was probably my second order. I really do enjoy finding stickers from different shops that combine well together, and I thought these were a really perfect combination. Loved this spread. And I may be wrong, but I think this was when I first started my YouTube channel. It does say this week I made my first planner videos, so many takes, but improving. Filming, editing and uploading takes hours. Well, nothing has changed. The last spread I'll show you in this planner was back to Happy Planner and those Squad Girls. I can't remember who I got this idea from. I'm pretty sure it was, I can't remember her name even, Twinkle, Planning with Twinkle, Twinkle Plans Her Day. I'll have to put the name on the screen. But I remember that she built a shape on the page and it gave me the idea of using the 4 leaves to make this heart. This was a special spread to me because I made it in celebration of my very first planner friend that I made on Instagram. And I used the 2 girls to represent us. And the split on the page represents the fact that we were separated by many, many miles, but still great friends. So, so pretty. I love this spread and it's a very special memory for me. That's the great thing about the planning community, the friends that you can make. Now let's look at 2022. In 2022, I was still in the archetypes planner. I can show you the cover. It was just full of lots of little icons and said, find yourself. Didn't have these discs. These are expanded discs that I've put it on because it's got so many pages. I'm noticing a pattern here, and so are you. First week of fall and the squad girls appear. This one is a real transition spread that lots of people do with the squad girls. So we have the summer squad girls and the fall squad girls. It works especially well when the first day of fall is on the Thursday, as it did this year. Another simple idea that I use a lot is keeping the decoration all at the bottom of the page and leaving the rest for function. I can see that I used one of the flip stickers that Happy Planner used to do, but I haven't actually written in it. These have not made a comeback, but I still have some of them. And here that I've put that I needed a hot water bottle, so it must have been getting cold on the 19th of September. This is not filling me with confidence that we're going to get much more sunny weather this year. Here's an example of how I added decoration to the top with these sunglasses for summer and then the fall leaves on the other side of the page. Really lovely planner page. This one is another favourite of mine. I loved these alphabet stickers, and I also bought the seasonal fall Happy Planner sticker book just so I could get hold of all these little leaves. And this was an example of how I saw this in my mind, and it did turn out how I wanted it to. Really, really pretty. You can see my need for symmetry again with the checklists balanced up with the boxes. But if you haven't used words on your planner pages and decorated an area with them, then I think that's a really fun thing to do. We'll move on. I don't want this video to be too long. And this one is more of a Bujo style spread. I used to do these from time to time where I drew my own boxes, or in this case I used some Happy Planner boxes from the journaling sticker book. And I really love how simple and pretty this is. I think one of the things I get a little bit bored with fall spreads is that everything seems to be brown and orange. So sometimes it's nice just to change it up with a different theme, such as bringing in Disney characters, even though it's still very neutral. Another spread I really, really love. And as time is getting on, we'll move on to last year's planner. I had the Happy Planner seasonal sticker book, which was a really, really pretty planner. I've recently bought these chiffon metal discs from Happy Planner so that it can hold all my spreads. Although it was a seasonal planner, it was fairly neutral. It had a very faint stripe on the punch part, but you could hardly notice it. The colours changed, but it was really pale beige and pale green, I think, and a pale pink. And the numbers at the top were coloured too, so sometimes I changed them up. But I was really happy with this planner. I nearly bought a second copy, but I'm moving away from the classic vertical more and more these days. Something you have to include in fall spreads, apart from fall florals, is pumpkins and also plaid washi. My washi stash in 2023 had grown from a handful in 2019 to about 5 of those little clear plastic drawers. So lots to choose from. These were florals from Live Love Posh. And I'm not sure why, but I'm not a big fan of this spread. It's okay. And what I sometimes find is spreads that I'm not so keen on, other people think are really nice. But the good thing is, once the week's over, you just turn the page. This one is another Bujo style spread. using sunflowers from Plannerflip. I drew my own boxes. And again, we have the plaid washi combined with my favourite scallop washi. If you find you are getting tired of your layout, something you can do is use dot grid paper or filler paper and just draw your own boxes to make your own spread. Definitely worth giving it a try if you want to get more creative. I'm toying with the idea of moving to a dot grid journal next year, but we'll have to see. Just one more spread to show you, and that's this one. Brought the scrapbook paper in again and used my favourite Happy Planner Out for Adventure Girls combined with some printable stickers from Caitlin Plans. I was so happy with this spread. It turned out exactly how I wanted, and whenever I use those Out for Adventure Girls, it always makes me happy. You can see there's a lot more layering of stickers going on than back in the old days. And you've probably noticed that sometimes I would fill in my planner in black pen, but more often than not, I would use colours that combine with the colours in the spread. And look, I ordered my first Cathetic Plans sticker book back in October. So less than 1 year later, and I now have 4 Cathetic Plans sticker books. I have more spreads I could have shown you, but I thought 20 was enough. And I definitely feel that I've got myself more in the mood for full spreads than I was. It definitely gives you ideas looking at things you've done before and looking at other people's spreads online and getting inspiration from them. I can't believe that next week I'll be making my first full spread in my classic Happy Planner. I just don't know where the year has gone. If there are any spreads you've seen that you particularly like, you may find the Plan With Me in my classic videos playlist. I'll put links to the different sticker shops I've used in the video description as usual. Hope this video has given you some inspiration and ideas. And if you've enjoyed it, please subscribe to my channel and click that notification bell so you can join me for another video. Hope you're having a great weekend. Take care and happy planning.